Welcome to Tiger Wolf. I'm Josh, and this is David.
Please be aware, this podcast contains strong language and spoilers. Josh,
Yeah?
what are you thankful for?
Like in general?
In general, entertainment-wise, things that deal with what we do. What we do. Gesture.
Well,
Randomly
alright,
off camera.
So I'll be like serious and then I'll move on to the media stuff. First, I am... Oh, this is going to get mushy or something. I'm, of course, thankful for my parents. They're my parents. They've been very good at that job. And I would say my family in general, even though I don't interact with them much.
Yeah.
But that's more on me than it is them. I'm not comfortable interacting with a lot of different people semi-frequently or basically at all for the most part, which is unfortunate because I do love them and everything. I don't know. I'm thankful for Halloween. Oren. I love Oren.
Tiny, wonderful little bundle of hate. Joy.
He knows joy?
He does. He giggles. He laughs at a lot of
I'm
things.
being super quiet. There's a lot there, and I'm not going to unpack all that here.
Yeah.
But there's a lot I am thankful for in my personal life. As far as the things that we enjoy, media and whatnot, I am thankful for Deadpool 2. I enjoy, or I guess I'm thankful for something I have rarely mentioned on here, and I haven't finished yet, but I need to, and that is Wheel of Time, the book series. I have most of it. I just need to do it. Reading is a time-consuming thing.
Yes, it is.
I don't know, man. This is like a weird question to say I'm thankful for people creating things for me to consume. Star Wars has made a comeback and already died mostly, so that's good. Not good that it died, good that it came back for a little bit.
Yeah. They killed all of the future side projects.
Yeah.
The only movie
including our Obi-Wan and
Boba
Fett, my two favorite characters.
Yeah. The only...
At least you got yours.
The only current film in production that's still moving forward is 9.
Yeah, because they have to finish off the trilogy.
However, they have also stated that The Mandalorian is going to be one of their harder TV shows on the DC streaming service.
Any chance that this is based off of The Mandalorian we know and love?
The armor doesn't look like Canderous, so...
The Mandalorian can literally be from any time period, and it just
a
Mandalorian.
It looks
that is the
more
Mandalorian. Mandalore.
Yeah, it looks more like Jango's or Boba Fett's style of armor, so I think it's probably
their style of armor is Mandalorian.
Yeah, but like Canderous had a very different aesthetic to his armor, especially when he's Mandalore in the second game.
Yeah, there's a lot of time between. Jesus, David,
I'm just knocking stuff over.
Man, there's a lot of time between Old Republic, which is where Canderous is Mandalore. And this might just be about a Mandalorian, not necessarily Mandalore.
I think it's just a Mandalorian. But the screenshots the pictures I've seen from the set, I like the design of the costume.
All right.
So
I might
Here's
look into
hoping.
it. I think I'll just wait. What's it coming out on?
Disney streaming service.
Oh, cool. So I'll be pirating that.
Right in the foot.
What?
Look, we know we'll never get a sponsor from Disney, so it's okay.
No, right? What's wrong with you? You know what? Disney's had
Probably
people
because of me
who have
and
had
Star
said.
Wars.
I know of a person who has said bad things about Disney and worked for them afterwards. So I don't think they care that much in that sense. And look, I'm just not going to pay for things I've already seen and maybe a couple new things. It's just not going to happen.
That's basically what Netflix is.
I
Or
mean,
Hulu,
yes and no.
or
I'm actually
Amazon
looking.
Prime,
there's-
or
I want to sit and watch and through The Office.
the British one or the American one.
The American one.
Okay.
Probably eventually the British one too, but I can actually watch some, if not most, or all of that on Amazon for free. The US one's not. It's for rent, but I can't.
Mm.
So, and as I understand it, it is on Netflix. So there's that. Yeah, man. Like, I'm thankful that my computer I built works mostly. I'm just doing past year stuff. Love my couch.
I love my couch.
It is starting to feel cheaper by like the month though. Like the cushioning's not holding up.
It will never feel as cheap as my couch.
Well, that's because your couch is a metal frame with a pillow on it.
Yes, it's a futon.
I mean, one of my issues with this one is the same one I have with yours. Is it's not easy to sit not
Up.
all the way back.
Yeah.
yeah. Which is how I sit when I play games most of the time.
Yeah,
So it makes it difficult.
I have
But I
an issue
also
with
can
that
lean
on that
back
one.
on this and be more comfortable. So
I have
usually
an
end
issue
up
with mine
practically
being like
laying down.
that.
What else am I thankful for, David?
I don't know.
Oh, you know what I'm thankful for?
Probably not me.
Oh no, you. I said family. That meant you.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
No, I was gonna say them. The people in the mics that I talk to.
The people who listen to us ramble.
Yeah, the few of them too.
Hey, whatever.
But you know what? I still love them. And also, of course, I'm glad that we started doing this podcast as at least an outlet.
Yeah. It gives us something to do, and
It forces us to be creative in some way,
yeah.
which is something we both needed, I think. I'm gonna pass the buck to you. What are you thankful for, David?
My family, but I think more so my son than anything else right now.
Literally, my family butt is what you just said.
My family, but my son more.
Well, I mean,
Specifically,
yeah,
he's at the
that's-
top.
That I think that tends to happen when you have a child.
I mean, I'm thankful that we're in a place where people can typically write whatever story they want and get it put out there for entertainment.
Oh,
There are
you
some
mean
places
like-
that can't do
It's-
that.
You mean like a place geographically?
Geographically.
Geography is what I said.
Yes, geographically.
I mean, also
And
to expand on that,
politically and- yeah.
it's just the place where we are as far as like being able to put creative things out there in the world.
Yeah.
It's easier, and in that sense, also like very much more competitive.
Yeah.
In a different way.
I mean, this year there have been, digging into my side of entertainment stuff, this year there have been some really good stories in comics. Also
Oh,
been
yeah,
a couple
honestly-
of bad ones, but
That Heroes in Crisis, like I'm from what you've expressed to me on that, that's what I was saying. Like, I might actually ask to read that afterwards
Yeah.
because it seems like it's done surprisingly well. At least DC can do something right.
They're good at comics in the animated universe. They just can't do movies. What? You're looking at me like there was more to that statement.
No, I was waiting for you to continue talking. Is all. I'm not arguing.
I mean, like, but yeah, like
It's honestly, it's like the same issues that they have with making a movie are the same issues Marvel's been having with their comic books lately. It really feels like it's very similar.
It's similar. The creative.
It feels like they're pushing themselves to have something instead of
just
having something.
Having something, yeah. Like some of the comics in Marvel have not been as appealing as they once were. But I mean, like Venom, still going strong. Which I'm really, really thankful that's actually still going strong.
No, I'm sure the movie coming out helped.
Yeah,
with the attention.
Probably. The I mean, as far as other medias go, that's still subsequently tied to Marvel. New Spider-Man game.
I mean, that's not.
I'm thankful
It's
it was
tied
good.
to Marvel.
I'm thankful
It's tied to Marvel,
good.
but it was created by Insomniac
Yes,
from
it
the
was.
ground up.
they
didn't have to. That was the smartest thing was they didn't have to use anything existing. They just needed to make their own deal with it.
Yeah, and I think that was the best route. Marvel and Insomniac could have gone with that. Not adapting, Dan Slott's Spider-Man run or so-and-so's Spider-Man run.
Or
They did
a
their
movie.
own thing.
Or connecting it to a movie in any way.
Yeah, I mean, they did connect it to the comics in the comics.
Right. The comics made that decision.
Yeah.
Not. That's what I'm saying. The game didn't. The game just said,
The game's
this is
itself.
what exists. And the comics are like, we like this.
Yes, you exist. You're part of Spider-Geddon now. Let's go. Which that story, at the moment, still kind of
It's a good way to include it. And I feel like that story is going to destroy some Spider-Verses. So,
more than likely.
I feel like that's a good way to include it without having to make it like permanently always there.
Yeah, there's a couple of interesting new characters, but at the same time, the story itself's literally just kind of a rehash of the first Spider-Verse, and I'm like, why are you guys doing this again? Like, why? But whatever. We'll see how it concludes. Maybe they've got some grand thing that's going to change everything and make it be a reason for it instead of just, hey, let's just have an excuse to have all the spiders fighting together again. How do we do that? Well, they didn't kill the inheritors. You're right, they didn't. They get out. How? I don't know. Make it up.
I mean, it's literally their job to make it up.
Exactly.
I mean, I see what you're saying. I feel like a lot of writers and creators want to pay homages to like previous versions and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but don't know how to do it tactfully where it's not feeling like it's just a revamp of that same thing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I could do any better. I honestly could probably not, and that's why I don't plan to. Most of my creations, if there's any Easter eggs in it, is probably because of David.
Yeah, I will take full responsibility of that. It is almost guaranteedly my fault.
And it was probably something he had to stand his ground on with me.
Yep. Almost guaranteedly.
Just because I like that kind of stuff, but I don't think that I can put it in there without it being a glaring thing.
Yeah.
Too easily. And I don't want it to be a glaring thing because then it's this whole like it's embarrassing in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, that was your complaint about another movie we saw this year. Easter eggs, the movie, are
Oh, well, I
Ready
mean,
Player One.
I mean, that is exactly what it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
too.
that was what it was supposed to be.
So like,
So I enjoyed it for that.
My issue wasn't that it was glaring stuff because that's what it was supposed to be. My issue was that they had to say it to you stuff.
I mean, they didn't have to say the Gundam. They just did it.
Well, yeah. And I get, and like, maybe it's just because I'm a 30-something now, but the whole moment where they're like, is that the bike from Akira? Or where they mentioned that it's the car from Back to the Future. It's like, no fucking shit. What else is this from? Like, what else could this be from?
Well,
this isn't from Initial D, you know?
You got to think, you got to remember, yes, it was targeted for us, but at the same time, it wasn't.
No, it was targeted for the 20-something nerds.
Yeah.
We're not 20-somethings, David. We're old.
I know. I say that frequently.
You got a little...
Gray?
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I know. But they went with the oldest and most iconic version of Gundam.
Yeah, the original Gundam.
The original Gundam.
Yeah.
That
It's been...
Amuro
That's the one with
piloted.
Mecha Godzilla, right?
Yep.
So it's been a while. So like I'm gonna be confirming everything.
Yeah, they did Mecha Godzilla. So I mean, they did things that
my issue, like
older people would recognize.
But that's where like, and that is exactly, not to get too much into this, but it is exactly where my issue lied, because it was like it was always Master Chief stuff to make reference to Halo. You know what I mean? We saw Tracer like 3 times. Like,
yeah, we saw Tracer. We saw I saw the Arkham Knight, and there were like dozens of Batman.
I will say I really did enjoy the movie, and I thought it was a good herald back to the. Honestly, like it fit the whole theme. It was like an 80s.
It was an late
like
80s, early 90s.
Of it, well, no, I mean like the whole story of it is like the 80s, like don't fuck people over, be nice to your friends type of movie story that I grew up with. So I was like at the end of it, like when the dude, especially when the dude realized like how like ridiculous he was being, with the gun and that, and I was just like. In like the whole ending sequence with the gold egg thing, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a good herald back to like the whole story. Looking at it as a whole afterwards, it's like, all right, yeah, like I see what the influence is here. It's not just the things in it, but it's what it is itself too.
Is an Easter egg.
Which, well, it's something we probably need more of if done well. In
today.
Media now, because now it's a whole lot of like it's a lot of superheroes, and guess what? Life isn't like superheroes, and a lot of people are growing up with media as a big part of their life. So like, there's lessons to be learned from it, as long as they're there.
Yeah, I think that's an argument some people will put forward. Like, that's the reason they aren't thankful for superhero movies. They aren't thankful for the current tones of our media.
I'm thankful for getting on that topic. I am thankful for the fact that now as a nerd, I'm not the outlier. Like everybody has a nerd thing that they're about for the most part. Like there's still a lot of people that just don't get into any of this nerd culture stuff, and that's fine. Not for them, whatevs.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also like I'm not as much of an outlier now.
Yeah, I'm thankful that they're, walking around my day job, I'll see someone wearing, it's more prominent to see random superhero shirt or, whatever.
Right. It's actually more likely that you're going to see a superhero shirt than a band shirt now.
Yeah.
When growing up, it was all band shirts. I think that had a lot to do with the area we were into. Not being as, I don't want to say it that negatively, but not being as nerd friendly.
It wasn't. But I mean, it's definitely something to be thankful for, that we can just kind of rattle off this stuff now. I think think one of the things I'm more thankful for dealing with this uptick in nerd related things is, like you said, we're not the outliers anymore. But at the same time, that can be a bad thing.
I mean, and I feel like a lot of nerd people who grew up being the outliers don't know how to handle it too.
Yeah.
Myself, probably somewhat included sometimes. Like, I'm not going to argue against that. I have a hard time. It's conversations are weirder for me because of that. Because I'm used to not basically having to
able to talk about those things.
Well, no, like I had to have conversations that wouldn't relate to them at all.
Yeah.
And now I can make references like that, and it, people laugh and nod and whatever and be a part of it type of thing. Like, it's not always been like, because you grew up with older people who grew up with comic books and stuff like that, or not grow up, work with older people who grew up with those comic books and that. So like, you could make references, but they weren't like into it. Yeah. You know what I mean? In the same way, it's just a thing you grew up with. Like,
that might also be because my dad was into comics. So,
yeah. And
my mom drew the Ninja Turtles when she felt like drawing stuff.
And see, my parents aren't really nerdy people.
Not really.
Oh. I think my dad read comic books when he was younger. I don't remember. I think he said he's got a few that may I think I want to say Spawn, but I don't think that's right. And stuff like that I've never seen.
Yeah.
And I may be misremembering that altogether. But yeah, and it's like I was definitely like the outlier for my family.
Yeah.
Lewis is into sports and like he's a tech nerd.
Yeah. But not
like entertainment nerd.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely an entertainment nerd.
Yeah. I was
because like often it's just like people our age, you grew up with people like parents or people around that you grow up with like superheroes and stuff like that. And that's what you like as a kid. And then you grow up out of that.
Yeah.
And then less and less people were growing up out of that. And that's why I think the nerd culture is such a bigger thing now, is because there's so many people who are our age, a little older, and the younger crowds coming up and that
we're just like, look, so what? Enjoy it.
It doesn't, just because it's childlike fantasy doesn't mean you need to stop at a certain age or something like that.
Yeah.
You can still enjoy it as long as you can recognize the difference between real life and it. You're good.
Yeah.
That goes with video games too. A lot of people don't know, like, that's, especially being both, a big gamer and into this stuff. And it's just like how many people in where, where we're from were really big gamers that weren't already your friend?
Not a few.
Yeah, very few. Yeah, I said not a whole lot.
And most people, one of them a big gamer for a while.
I actually saw this meme earlier. That was tell people that you're binge watching Netflix all weekend. Nobody bats an eye. Tell people that you played video games, for X amount of hours all weekend or whatever, and everybody loses their shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how is that different? At least I'm interacting with this.
Yeah, I'm not just in a vegetative state.
Well, sometimes I am.
Yeah, there are some shows where you can just veg out, and then there are other shows that
I meant video games.
You really should be paying attention to.
I meant video games.
There are a few games. Like, there's a game I own. When I bought it because a dad literally described it as, it's just something stupid fun that after a 12-hour shift at the factory, I can go home, like 4 of the buttons on the controller all do the same move, and I can play it with my kid. And that was the Skylanders, the first one.
Oh yeah, you got really into that too.
Yeah, I mean, I bought the first 3 games, and I have a lot of the figures from the first game, a few from the second, and a few from the third. after the third one, I got disinterested because they added ships, they added
Just all sorts
vehicles,
of stuff. Yeah.
and too much for me.
They have one coming out, is already out, game where you can actually like change the parts on the thing.
Yeah. Starlink.
I don't know, man.
I think it's Starlink.
I wasn't as into that stuff.
They're big.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I played it with
has
you.
Star
It was
Fox.
fun. Hammer Fist.
Their big thing is they have Star Fox in the new game.
Oh, that's cool. Oh,
You can
yeah,
play
yeah, yeah.
As Star Fox.
Yeah, that's what I actually remember. Is you can be you can have Starbucks's ship. Yep.
Fish, Fip,
Boat.
whatever. Skyboat. His Skyboat.
His skyboat, or you can make the walker too out of it.
The Walker. Oh, the Walker.
Yeah,
Give me a second.
from the shitty 64 game.
Yeah.
They had it. The second one, the second Star Fox game
Yeah.
for the 64.
I didn't like the second one all that
Yeah,
much.
nobody else did either. That's why Star Fox died.
Probably.
Yeah, no, like I'm with you on that. I'm very thankful that like there's this sort of
Acceptance?
renaissance. It's like a renaissance of this type of media,
Yeah.
right? First it was Lord of the Rings. Like that's what like started this.
Yeah.
And then we got like what came after Lord of the Rings? Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Was that after that? It was about the same
It
time.
was about the same time, but Harry Potter ran longer. So
Right.
it kept it going.
Well, I mean, it ran longer. The long version of Lord of the Rings is 12 hours.
What I mean by it ran longer is there were more
Yeah.
movies spread out.
Yeah.
Because it was the original trilogy of Lord of the Rings, and then they took some time off because Harry Potter was a thing, and then in 2008,
Oh yeah, and then we got
Tony
the Hobbit.
Stark came out.
Well, and then we got the Hobbit.
Yeah, and then the
too.
Hobbit trilogy
Like, so
came out.
It didn't stop in that the same sense, but like it. I feel like Lord of the Rings was the thing because it was basically saying, "Hey, all you guys out here have been reading fantasy novels. Welcome
We
to the
gotcha."
mainstream because this was the best book adaptation ever.
Yeah.
Basically, like everybody who read the books was okay with the movies, even if they left out Tom Bombadil. But you get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they did
Well, I mean,
did a
like-
true enough job where it didn't feel cheap.
with Two Towers. Two
They
Towers
went to New
came
Zealand
out.
and filmed a lot of shit.
Two Towers came out when I was in the
Infancy.
Christmas break.
Oh, I thought you meant the books. That's not even true either.
The Christmas break, and I don't know if you remember.
don't know.
Carrie dragged me to
Why would I
Kentucky
remember this?
to meet her biological dad.
Why would I even know this?
This is hold on.
Do you forget do you sometimes forget that you never tell me anything?
Sometimes. So I get dragged to Kentucky. We're up there. She wants to meet her biological dad, and we're staying with her aunt and uncle
Yeah.
that are up there. And her aunt is like, "Who wants to go to the movies with me?" Because her uncle hated The Lord of the Rings. He refused. And I'm like,
So she
"What
needs somebody to go with
movie?"
her.
She's like, Two Towers. And I'm like, I'll go. I'll go. So me and her aunt went to see Two Towers. Because Carrie was like, nah, I'm good.
And see, that right there is a lot of the like I mean honestly, like my parents did not like the first movie because it didn't end the story.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It's
have you never read a trilogy?
it's a trilogy. It doesn't.
I'm like, it's based off the books. And like, well, it still could have ended somewhere. And I was like, it did.
It
Boromir
does.
died.
does.
Something ended. Somebody's story stopped.
It ended with someone dying.
and Sam almost drowning.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I think I would enjoy more at this point is
Mhm.
getting a Dragonbane or the a retelling of the companions from
Dragonlance?
Dragonlance.
Wow, you struggled with that one.
Yeah, it was Dungeons and Dragons. I'm like, well, yes, but no.
I want for 5e, I want Dragonlance campaign setting back. I hope that it comes out eventually. I feel like 5E is going to be around for a while. I don't think they're working on 6E or anything yet. So there's a possibility.
I mean, if nothing else, I still have the old 3.5
I know,
edition.
but do you really think I want to sit through and
I'm
translate
just saying,
it over?
I have it.
The stories have become oversaturated, and so they're less meaningful. And I think that's what's happening a lot in all of the medias, comic books,
Yeah.
video games, movies. And so I'm thankful because I feel like we're at the precipice of a shift in that, because people are demanding that the creators that be make better content.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if they don't get you $1.
Yeah.
They don't get you $1, they can't keep creating like that.
Yep.
So I feel like we're on the precipice of being thankful for a renaissance of the stories now that we've gotten the and that was because that's what we
Renaissance of
needed.
the industry.
Huh? Well, no, we've gotten the industry, and now we need the content to keep up with the content.
Yeah.
But also I'm not going to dive into that. I don't want any negativity on this one. This is what we're thankful for. Yeah, man. I think that's it. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, not really.
So, most of all, thank you.
Music?
What? What did you say?
I said music?
Uh,
Oh, we didn't thank you.
I have hearing in the room. I always have tinnitus. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I suppose that's the end of the episode.
Please like, comment, follow, and share. And also, more importantly, thank you for listening.
Take care.
Bye.